In 1992, a driver named Elias pulled his simple four-cylinder sedan into a dusty rest stop outside of Needles, California. The mercury was pushing 110 degrees, but Elias wasn't worried because he knew exactly what was happening under his hood. He had a mechanical thermostat, a belt-driven water pump, and a gauge on his dash that actually moved when the coolant got hot. He spent 5 minutes checking a rubber hose, topped off his radiator from a plastic jug, and kept every cent of his paycheck in his pocket. Fast forward to 2026, and a modern driver sits in a tech-heavy SUV, watching a digital screen that claims everything is perfectly fine. They are blissfully unaware that their engine is currently screaming at 240 degrees, just seconds away from a catastrophic metal warping meltdown. This isn't just a failure of parts. It is a failure of the digital promise that more technology equals more reliability. We are entering an era where your car can literally forget how to stay cool because of a glitch in a software update sent from 1,000 miles away. You need to understand that your vehicle is no longer just a machine. It is a machine of identity that requires you to be its final line of defense. If you rely on the dealership service plan and the dummy lights on your dash, you are headed for a financial wreck that costs more than the car is worth. Let's start with the basics that are still killing 60% of the cars on the road today, beginning with the silent theft of your coolant. Modern cooling systems are designed to be sealed tight, which means if your level is dropping, you have a predator in the system. Air pockets are the hidden ghosts of the cooling world, often introduced during a standard flush at a cut-rate lube shop. An air bubble creates a physical lock in the lines, stopping the flow of life-saving fluid and creating hotspots that can crack a cylinder head in minutes. Then there is the humble $15 killer known as the thermostat, a tiny metal valve that holds the power of life and death over your engine. If it sticks shut, the heat has nowhere to go. If it sticks open, your engine never reaches the heat it needs, creating a thick sludge that chokes your oil passages. Don't trust a new water pump just because it is spinning and making no noise. Modern pumps often use plastic impellers that can erode or shear off completely, leaving you with a pump that turns but moves absolutely zero fluid through the block. We have moved into the digital heat era, where the simple mechanical thermostat has been replaced by complex active thermal management systems. Engines like the GM 2.7-liter and the BMW B series now use electric coolant control valves to direct heat based on computer logic. These systems use anywhere from 3 to 8 different sensors to decide if the heat should go to your cabin, your transmission, or your engine block. If a single sensor fails or the software logic glitches, the engine can cook itself to death while the interior of the car stays perfectly comfortable. Perhaps the most dangerous deception in a 2026 vehicle is the software-smoothed dummy gauge on your dashboard. Manufacturers program these needles to stay dead center between 90 and 215 degrees to keep drivers from worrying about normal fluctuations. By the time that needle actually starts moving toward the red zone, the software has finally admitted defeat, and your engine is likely already over 240 degrees. At that temperature, head gasket damage is not just a possibility, it is an immediate physical reality. Even your home Wi-Fi is now a threat to your engine's survival due to failed over-the-air software updates. In 2025 and 2026, bad updates have been linked to fan logic errors where the car simply forgets to turn on the high-speed radiator fan while you are idling in traffic. If you own a Ford EcoBoost with a 1.5 or 2.0-liter engine, you are living in a specific red zone known as coolant intrusion. A fundamental design flaw in the cylinder block allows coolant to leak directly into the combustion chamber, leading to a smoldering mess of an engine. BMW owners aren't safe either, with massive 2026 recalls hitting models for starter motor overheating. Internal wear causes the starter to stay engaged or short out, creating a massive heat spike and a fire risk that many drivers mistake for a cooling system failure. The GM 1.2-liter turbo engines found in the Trax and Trailblazer are also under extreme stress. These downsized engines run at incredible pressures, and even a microscopic leak in the turbo cooling lines can lead to a rapid onset overheating event that leaves you stranded. Hyundai and Kia owners are facing their own digital demons with the Thermal Management Module, or TMM. This electronic brain is the single point of failure for the entire cooling system, and it has become a frequent victim of hardware failure in 2024 and 2025 models. You must pay attention to the parts that people ignore, like the $20 radiator cap sitting right on top of the system. If that internal spring weakens, it won't hold the 15 to 18 psi needed to raise the boiling point of your coolant, causing your car to boil over at standard operating temperatures. There is also a silent killer called electrolysis, where old acidic coolant begins to carry a literal electrical charge. This electricity eats through your aluminum radiator and heater core from the inside out, creating pinhole leaks that are almost impossible to see until it is too late. Modern aerodynamics have also introduced active grille shutters that open and close to manage airflow. If these shutters get stuck shut after a minor fender bender or a heavy ice storm, your radiator gets zero air and your engine will overheat the moment you hit highway speeds. If you see that gauge spike, you need to execute the professional emergency protocol immediately. Turn your heater to the maximum setting and the fan to high, which turns your heater core into a second radiator to pull heat away from the block. If the air coming out of your vents is ice cold while the engine is supposedly hot, you have a massive problem. This means you have zero coolant left in the system or a completely failed water pump, and you must stop the vehicle immediately to save the engine. Always remember the 30-minute rule and never ever open a radiator cap on a hot car. These systems are under immense pressure, and opening that cap can release a geyser of 230-degree fluid that will cause third-degree burns in a heartbeat. Pull your dipstick and check the oil for a milky chocolate milkshake appearance. If you see that texture, your coolant is mixing with your oil, which is the definitive signature of a blown head gasket and a multi-thousand-dollar repair bill. As of February 2026, the EPA has finally removed incentives for those annoying auto start-stop systems. Owners are finding that these systems contribute to thermal shock, where an engine is repeatedly shut down at peak temperatures, stressing the water pump and turbo circuits. The financial reality of modern maintenance is staggering, with a dealership cooling system diagnostic and repair often topping $1,500. Learning to check your own radiator cap and understanding your sensors can save you $15,000 over the life of the vehicle, enough to buy your next car in cash. In this high-tech world, the most important tool you own isn't a laptop or a scanning tool. It is your own mechanical intuition. Understand the machine, listen to the vibrations, and remember that what you keep through DIY skill matters more than what you earn at your job. Your vehicle is your home and your office for the spirit, and keeping it cool is the only way to stay on the open road. Don't let a digital glitch or a $20 plastic part turn your machine of identity into a pile of scrap metal.